Alright people, my name is Mr. Hedge. I can tell by your wide-eyed stares and slackened jaws that you've never been taught by a caveman before, so let's go through the basics, shall we? Do I live in a cave? No. I live in a sweet-ass condo. Do I hunt and kill my own food? No. I shop in an organic grocery store and pay too much for heirloom tomatoes. Do I paint animals on walls? On occasion, when I'm drunk enough. Any more questions? Hannah Montana.
Do you have a tail?
Yes, and it's got a poisonous barb on it, so don't mess with me.
With the lights out, less dangerous, here we are now. Entertain us, I feel stupid, contagious, here we are now. Entertain us.
I think the biggest surprise about the 2007 GEICO Caveman TV show is that it wasn't a complete stinkburger. This is not to say that it's a great show, simply better than a show based on a poorly conceived advertising campaign had any right to be. I guess it goes to show you that quality, such as it is, can be drawn from the strangest of sources, be it a commercial, a theme park ride, or a board game. Not that I'm really comparing Cavemen with Pirates of the Caribbean or Clue, mind you, but look at what it had to work with.
It's so easy to use GEICO.com, a caveman could do it.
What?
Oh, no,
Not cool.
I did not know you were there.
Yeah, that commercial is the genesis for an entire 12-episode season of a sitcom. Here's the major problem with the GEICO Cavemen series of commercials. The first ad's humor derives from in the literalism of a common saying, which incidentally is where the humor in the series of GEICO ads running right now derives from.
Hey, you dang woodchucks! Quit chucking my wood!
GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I won't pretend I have any idea what the ad execs at GEICO were thinking, but apparently the first Caveman commercial was so well received that it warranted sequels. However, this shifted the focus of the humor from the original literalism to the mistreatment of these caveman characters, which clearly are being portrayed as a minority, and all their grief stems directly from the actions of GEICO. And boy, did they run with this idea. You know, I think GEICO may be the only company that successfully advertised itself as racist assholes and got away with it. That's what I mean by poorly conceived. There's dark humor, and then there's kicking someone in the balls and posting it on YouTube. The fact that any semblance of narrative or comedy could be derived from something like that is no short of a miracle. The series revolves around 3 caveman roommates. Joel, the responsible one working at an IKEA-esque furniture store, Andy, Joel's childish younger brother, and their cynical friend Nick, a lazy 28-year-old college student who blames all of his problems on the man keeping the caveman down. As you might suspect, the idea of caveman as stand-in for racial minority is very prevalent throughout the entire series. There's not a single episode where that's not at least the secondary theme. The show covers such things as interracial relationships, discrimination in the workplace, racist sports mascots, minorities in politics, and so on. As such, the series is more heavy-handed than your typical sitcom, but having race issues being the central focus of your show does not make your show deep. Cavemen doesn't really say anything new about these issues, nor present new issues, merely laying down the most obvious of facts. Anyone who is not aware of these things are social retards. Now, this is territory that a lot of sitcoms will not get into, or at most devote a solitary special episode to. So if the creators of the show had the ability to discuss these issues en masse, why not dig deeper? Well, it really comes down to the idea that these racial issues are being seen through the eyes of white people. By that I mean the entire cast is white, and best as I can tell, the majority of the writers and directors and producers and whatnot are white. This is not to say that a white person cannot reach a deep understanding of racial issues, but a project like a television show, with multiple writers and directors, tends to move towards a common creative denominator. To paraphrase Men in Black, a person is smart, people are dumb. Speaking for myself, I have never been called a racial slur, never made to feel inferior because of the color of my skin. Now imagine an entire TV crew who have never dealt with those things either, making a show about those things. The show starts off really unfunny because of this. As these characters are still new to us and haven't fully developed, comedy from these issues do all the heavy lifting. And for the most part, it doesn't work. The rest of the comedy is pretty atypical sitcom stuff. Misunderstandings, dating, job troubles. It never really rises above the level of a weaker episode of Friends. And then, as the show progresses, things begin to change, evolve. The main characters have developed to a point where the racial humor can step into the background, and the majority of the humor suddenly becomes character-based. The three main characters and the various supporting characters all bounce off each other really well. And what seemed like one-off characters from earlier episodes reappear, creating a proper continuity. What's more, characters begin to have arcs. Major events happen in their lives that stick instead of getting hit with the reset button that a lot of sitcoms deal with. Joel breaks up with his longtime girlfriend, and they stay broken up through the rest of the series. Andy gets a new job, Nick courts a cave woman and regrets it, and it takes more than one episode to cover these storylines. In addition to all this, caveman culture gets fleshed out and becomes kind of interesting. Cavemen stop becoming a simple one-to-one stand-in for African Americans, and they start having their own history and traditions based around ancient survivalism. I actually found myself becoming interested in what cavemen were in the context of the show. And you know what? I had a good laugh or two. Not often, but the ratio of chuckles per episode were improving dramatically. And you know what the sad thing is? The moment the series started to get halfway decent was when ABC canceled the show mid-season. The only reason I've seen the second half of the series is because the show aired to completion in foreign markets. It really has to suck for all your good material to not even be aired. Again, the series became good. It never became great. But I say it improved itself at a far faster rate than, dare I say, Star Trek The Next Generation, which took 2 whole seasons to get good. The Caveman TV show will always be the butt of jokes. People wrote it off the moment they heard it was in development. I'm here to say that Caveman is just okay. But that's far better than anyone predicted for a show based on a commercial.
Wednesday night.
Huh. A TV show. About us.
What was the deal with that makeup?
Exactly. Why not just use real cavemen?
Well, I thought their diction was good. You could hear everything they were saying. At least they didn't say, "It's so easy,
Yeah. There's that.